Earlier this week, Lourdes University announcing they would add their 22nd varsity sport, women's wrestling. Just the second school in Ohio to offer varsity wrestling at the collegiate level. Tonight, in No Days Off, Mark Kuhn sits down with the woman tabbed to lead the Grey Wolves into history, Kate Hill, an All-American wrestler at Campbellsville in 2018.
So Kate, you are going to become the first women's wrestling coach at Lourdes. Are you ready for the challenge?
Yes, I think that I've been prepared by my previous coaches / bosses once I graduated. I've been wrestling for a really long time. I've had some experience with Team Michigan, the national team that takes the girls around the country. I'm super excited for the challenge.
Let's talk about your background. Obviously, you grew up wrestling in Michigan, wrestled collegiately at Campbellsville. How have you seen the growth of female wrestling over the last 5-10 years?
The growth, honestly, is astounding. When I looked at colleges, I had 20 colleges to choose from. That's it. Now there's 80 colleges, at least. So that growth is huge. And then, in addition, so many states in the past 2 or 3 years have sanctioned women's wrestling, and they have 8 placers in most of those states in every single weight. So that's a crazy amount compared to the 20 girls that went with me to nationals when I was in high school.
Obviously, your home state of Michigan, one of those states that has sanctioned female wrestling. Do you think that we're going to see more and more states? I know I've had conversations with the OHSA commissioner about it. I know that's something that's on their radar. Is this a situation where maybe the colleges can help lead the high schools into sanctioning women wrestling?
Honestly, I think that the high schools are leading more colleges into it. There's so many girls that are getting involved. Now there's a recruiting pool that you can have 80 schools and get full teams for every single school. So I think that's super cool. Ohio has, they have a sanctioned one. They wrestle, I think in February, like maybe the 3rd week in February is their state tournament.
As you were growing up in wrestling, obviously you didn't necessarily have a separate female team. You had to wrestle with guys, and now we're seeing more and more females wrestling. So is that still there, that you've got to grow up wrestling against the boys, or are you now seeing more and more just wrestling against other girls?
I would say in most states the girls still compete with boys. It's a bigger pool, but you can't really travel realistically in high school to a central spot in the state or to another state every single weekend. So I'd say most states still perform with boys, but I think California, Texas, maybe Tennessee have a primarily women's season.
How many female coaches are there for female wrestling?
For high school or college?
Just overall?
There's kind of a lot, I think, at the high school level, and for national teams there's a lot of college girls that come back and help their state. For colleges there's, I know there's at least 5 maybe. There's probably more than that I just don't know about, but maybe not as many collegiately.